On Friday, April 12th, frontman of Deftones Chino Moreno talked to the KROQ radio station backstage at Coachella about Deftones' plan to follow up their 2020 album Ohms. Moreno said, "We haven't really talked much about it. We've just sort of been working on and off over the last year and a half from when we started writing to basically where we're sitting right now is we have a whole record recorded all musically. And it's pretty much my job right now to finish up the vocals. And I have, obviously, this show again next week, and then straight after that, I go back home to Oregon and I go in the studio. So as long as that takes, I hate to put a definite kind of time frame, because we're not really in a rush. We want it to be great. I think that's most important. But it is coming. And, yeah, it's really good. We're really excited with what we've been working on. And everybody's jazzed." About the musical direction they went in for the new album, Moreno said, "I feel like, overall, it's an invigorated kind of sound. We went in, and everybody after all these years, you go in, and it's like we hadn't written a record since, what was it? Pre-COVID, I think, when we were last in the studio. So it had been a while since we've been playing shows, but we hadn't really gotten to being creative. The creative part, to me, is always kind of the funnest part of being in this band. Performing is great, but coming up with something out of nothing, that feeling cannot be topped. And so when you get in the room with your friends, we're laughing. We're having fun, and then someone does something and then I react to it. Or they react to what I'm doing. It goes in a circle, and then all of a sudden, we lift our heads up and there's something that exists that didn't exist before. We walked in that room. That's just great." When asked about the songwriting process, Moreno said, "It's a combination of things. Most often, everything stems from us just jamming out some ideas, messing around, and someone comes up with something that maybe someone else or everyone else likes. And then we kind of just focus in on that for a little bit. That's what Nick's great at doing, too, where we could just sit and jam aimlessly and plow through idea after idea without even stopping to recognize them. He's great at saying, hey, that idea is really cool. Let's try to work on that for a minute. And then that other idea might be really cool with that one. Let's try putting them together, and stuff like that. So that's what's awesome about him. He's like an unofficial band member at that point, and good at giving us direction where we don't normally do that well on our own. We do it, but it's a much slower process on our own. What do you think? Are you looking forward to their new album?